Thank you so much for starting the morning with us. We've been discussing matters, toxic workplaces, what exactly that looks like, and then even, I don't know, contextualizing the situation, because sometimes people feel like you're having a conversation about toxic workplaces in a country where the unemployment rate is ridiculous and so many people are struggling to find work. And I'm always of the opinion that two things can be true at the same time. You know, the fact that work is hard to come by is a fact. The fact that a workplace can also be toxic is also a fact. And I think a lot of people do take advantage of the unemployment situation in the country because they think kuna mtu mwingine, you know, if I underpay you, overwork you, or even underwork you or whatever, I'll still be able to find someone else to fill the position should you leave. And
there's a supervisor, one of the bosses I worked with back in the day, who would say, na sasa nikiwafuta mtapata kazi wapi? That was the like kwani let me ask you, are you the only company in the industry that's giving the same services?
No, that's insane.
Because sometimes when you're skilled, you forget. Sometimes when you're employed, you forget how skillful you are. You forget how innovative you are, and you can maybe even start your own thing. And we are often stuck in a space just simply because we have looked for this job for a very long time.
True.
So the job hunt was a little bit too much for you.
Yeah.
So you feel like if I lose this job, I don't want to use another 6 years, 7 years looking for a job. Yeah.
And then I think the flip side is employers or people who think like that will often not be able to retain any good talent because no person will stay long enough to do a good job.
Yeah.
Or even if they're good at what they do, they won't stay or do a good job because it's simply like a toxic work environment. So at the end of the day, you're still the person losing
you
in the name of just being toxic.
Especially if you're a boss for creatives. What do they think about the job, whether they're at work or not? They always meet the creative nature of things when they're on the ground. Maybe you're in a matatu, you hear something, maybe a chime, and that producer, that musical director,
you're like, that's a jingle there.
That's a jingle. They get an idea from such. And sometimes a supervisor is just a logic guy who's in business. And logic is in place to make sure that we get to run a company as a company should be run. But sometimes asking for deliverables, wait, mbona hujaandika your script? It could be a lot of pressure on a creative, especially graphic designers.
Hey, wait.
Umeambia tu designer, by jioni nataka ukuwe design kila kitu. And they're like,
I really feel for designers because also the input that people give that creatives in general, people love to give them input, but designers, I really feel for them sometimes. It's a lot of make it bigger, make it smaller, make the colors pop, and there's no actual brief.